What are you, a mama's boy? What do you got to call mom and dad every day? No, I don't have to. I want to. So I'm going to talk about this. I've been teased by friends, and everybody that knows me well knows that I talk to my parents a lot. And what I mean by a lot is I call my parents not quite every day of the week, but pretty darn close to it. Most every day during the week, Monday through Friday, and once in a while on the weekend. So I'm probably averaging maybe, I don't know, 5 days a week, something like that. Um, as a little bit of background, I work about an hour away from home, so I've got a lot of time in the car. I use that time to place phone calls. And I live about an hour away from my parents, so I don't see them a whole lot. I see them some, not as much as I should, actually. But we stay connected by the phone. And I want to talk about what the true meaning is, what the real benefit is, and why I continue to be intentional about doing this and why it adds value. So, I initiate these calls because I'm the busier one. And I think that's key is when the busier person initiates the call, then it's just easier to stay in the rhythm, to stay in the routine of it. So I know when my parents are typically available and they know when I'm going to be calling. And these phone calls typically get started with my dad answering, putting me on speakerphone, and it's usually me saying, "What are you doing?" And then my dad says, "What are you doing?" And then I say, "Well, I asked you, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And we go back and forth that way. My mom probably rolls her eyes, doesn't quite understand it and get it, just chuckles at us a little bit, but it's fun and it's how we personally connect. Now, I don't call for that reason. I don't need to do that. But I call to stay connected with them. I want them to know that I'm out there thinking of them, that I love them, that I cherish our time, and I want them to know that I'm here. I've got their back. They don't have to worry about anything. And I want them to be as involved into my life, the life of my family, as we possibly can. So through the conversation, it's a lot of nonsense stuff. I usually ask, like, what are you having for dinner? What did you do today? Anything new? Now, when it's on a day by day basis, there's not a lot that's changed. However, you do always sneak into conversations about something that happened, something somebody said, something that happened with one of my kids or at work or with them. And we're always apprised of what's going on in each other's lives. And I think that's huge. It's something for each of us to look forward to. Not that we're saying, oh, goody, we're going to make another phone call today, like yesterday and the day before. But it's something that is a routine and a rhythm. And that certainly is important to me. And I just truly like talking with them. I want them to know what's going on. I want them to know how I feel about things. And I'm not always going to be able to do that. So I'm going to take advantage of the time that I have. Now, I've probably been doing this for over 20 years. And my hope one day is that I can do this with both of my kids when they're away. Now, my first little taste of this is my son Oliver is away at college as a freshman. And we don't talk daily. In fact, we don't talk as much as I would like. And I know that he's a busy person. And to be honest with you, he's not overly great about reaching out and staying connected. I can call him out. I'm not one of these parents that is rah, 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 my kid is awesome and great at all things and everybody gets a trophy. I don't subscribe to that. So, um, yeah, that's something that I hope he can work on and I can work on because I think it takes both of us. Going back to one of my early statements, though, I think it's more on the busier person to kind of keep that initiative going so that one side doesn't feel that they're always chasing or burdening or bothering or anything like that. There is true value, though, in staying connected with loved ones as much as possible. And as frequently as we can, all the better. Now, there's times where one of us is just not feeling it, so I won't make the call, or I know that they're not into it, they've got something else going on, we'll cut it short. No big deal. It's about the effort. It's about putting the energy into it and the focus on staying consistent with it. So, for those of you that are out there doing this, great. I'd love to see or hear what your experience is like. If you're not doing it and you think that this might entice you to give it a try, go out there and give it a try and see what happens. But again, you can't do this with everybody in your life, but I choose to do this with my parents, and I'm gonna do my darndest to try and have this be a habit with both of my kids as well. So, happy phone calls.